Welcome back to Everyone Has One with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany, and today we're going to talk about doing hard things. And I have to do, or I'm currently doing one, and I'm going to have to do another one. And there are steps to doing hard things. So the first hard thing that I'm doing is my son has my son's going through something. I don't want to share his business. But it's hard for it's hard for me to see him go through this. It's hard for me to see him have a hard time or be sad or all of that because he's my son and I love him. And as a mom, sometimes we want to go into protective mode, but he's an adult and he's got to kind of, I don't want to say figure this out for himself because he does, but he doesn't. Like, he has the love and support of his family and of many other people. But, I think, he has to learn his own way of navigating this, right? So that's hard, right? Like, I just want to, I wish it was like a boo-boo when he was a little kid and I could kiss it and, put a Band-Aid on the invisible boo-boo and he'd go off and play and be happy as a clam, right? But that's not the case. So that's been pretty hard. The other hard thing is that I have to have a hard conversation with someone that I love a lot. And those are always like, those suck. Those suck. I don't like having those types of conversations. Like, people think I do. I think, and like a lot of times people come to me like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, I hate it. I just know it has to be done, right? Like, I hate it. I don't want to do it, but I know it has to be done. And in order for it to be like, not only to clear the air, but in order to like restore a sense of like honesty and peace in the relationship, those hard conversations have to be had. And sometimes the pain is great and it changes or alters the way that relationship works. But sometimes it's just enough to kick both you and the other person, like kick your butts into gear and realize like you've been approaching this relationship in all the wrong ways, right? So I'm going to have one of those really hard conversations. I have a family member who resides with me and it's been a real struggle and I've been like pretty much not to them, right? Because I've been trying to maintain a sense of peace in my home, but to others, like I've really been having a hard time with it and kind of complaining and venting about it. And it's getting to the point where like, if I don't have this hard conversation, there's going to be this big blow up and that's going to fracture our relationship. And I don't want to do that. The thing that makes it even more difficult is this family member has a really hard time with any type of confrontation, even like anything, like why are you wearing those shoes? They struggle with it a lot. So it's another reason why I've kind of left things for so long, because I know they really struggle with confrontation. And again, I'm trying to maintain the peace in my home. I don't want to make this loved one feel crappy. But this loved one is making everyone else in the home feel not necessarily crappy, but some kind of way. And and I don't think that they're doing it on purpose. I think that they're really oblivious to it. I don't think they would be doing these things on purpose. I just don't think they have the self-awareness. So, and I don't mean that in a mean way at all. Like, not at all. Like, this this family member is just as sweet as can be. And, you know, I love this person. Like, I adore this person. And I adore this person, but I'm feeling angry because of these situations. And part of it is my fault because I haven't addressed it. When it was a little thing, I let it go, thinking like, okay, like, I will put, like, I will gently remind, but the gentle reminders have not worked. So now it has to be a whole conversation, and I just feel about it. I'm not going to lie. So, and then the other hard thing, I have one more hard thing that's not super duper hard, but hard for me is I have to clean this pit of an office. And part of that is I have a huge tote in here that is full of my mother's things. And I don't know exactly where to store it. And I know some of it can probably be tossed. I just don't want to. Like, there's very few things of my mother's that I've thrown out so far. Like, my siblings and I have kind of like, one sibling took her bedroom set, another, and the kitchen table. And then, like, another sibling's going to take, she had a chair, like her chair and her ottoman. Another sibling's going to take that. And another sibling's taken like all like the odds and ends types of things. And, my brother, who lives kind of far, he, he's like, hey, did you see this or did you see that? And he's kind of taken those things. And I live in the home that my mom lived in for the last 20 some odd years. And so I have that, and just, I think the hardest thing for me is not making this like a shrine to her, but I don't think I'd ever forget my mom. But like I said, I don't want to make it a shrine, but I want to keep her memory like here. I want to keep it here without it being a shrine. And I think that's a really hard line for me. Like, some other people probably have no problem with it, but for me, it's a really hard line for me to kind of keep. And so I've been really careful about like not getting rid of her items, and seeing if my siblings want them or even the grandchildren. And so like I have all her stuff, obviously, and trying to figure out like what to do with it still is really hard. It's really hard, and it's been over a year since her passing. And pancreatic cancer is a son of a bitch, let me tell you. It's yeah, it's a son of a bitch. It was way too fast. And so I think that's the other thing too. Like, there are days where there's still days where I'm like, she's at work. But then I'm like, wait, no, she's not. She's not at work. She's not at work. Anyway, not gonna cry this video. I'm not. You thought I was. I'm not. So just doing some of those hard things, and hard things have to be done. Like, that's part of like the human experience, right? Like, we have to do the tough things. And as a parent to adults, they are going to have to do hard things, and we're going to have to like just come alongside them and love them in a way that they're comfortable with. And I'm a middle-aged woman. Like, of course I'm going to have adult children doing hard things, and parents that, are are getting up there in age. And, unfortunately for my husband and I, we don't have parents with us anymore. But, there was a time where we did, and there was a time we had to make that all that work. And yeah, it's just, sometimes you have to do hard things, and sometimes those hard things aren't even with your own kids. Sometimes they're with another family member because you're their safe place. And sometimes that's hard. And it's it's just part of life. Like, after talking about this, like, I'm feeling like almost joyful that I'm able to be kind of in the position that I am. I don't know, but hard things still suck. Hard things just suck. So, all right. I'm gonna get working in this office and fold some laundry and get some stuff done before I get to go pick up my niece and hang out with her. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you find the strength and the courage and the kindest way to do whatever hard thing you have to do today. Have a good one.